can I just say, this meeting broke my brain. Like, this is like the best meeting ever, and I'm so glad that Daniel's speech was a part of it, because I was honestly just so fascinated by everything tonight. When you sat down, I was like, what's he gonna do? What's happening? My mouth was agape. It just felt very out of context, and you know, the hand movements and everything, until you described the backstory. So it was kind of a cold opening, which I really liked. But then your whole speech ended up being based around that cold opening. And actually knowing what it was about after made me want to go back and rewatch it like a movie, so I could see your subtle hand movements and be like, oh, that's what he was doing. But yeah, I loved the theme of your speech regarding phone usage and addiction. I feel like we've all been on the same wavelength recently with brains and psychology and just dopamine and stuff, so I can't wait to get into that later. But you asked me to talk about, to look at your body language and your vocal variety. And tying into that, I thought you had an incredible stage presence. You always have such intentional hand movements. You captivated us so much with your snap, and you just had really great stage usage. You were walking back and forth, but it wasn't pacing, it was very intentional. You made wonderful eye contact with everyone. You were swooping across the whole room. You had very good articulation as well. You had very crisp, clear speaking, and I didn't feel like I needed to decode that at all. You also mentioned that you were going to use your notes for your speech, and I really don't think you needed them, maybe for that one small part, but you were so confident, and you were always such a great presenter, like Brendan said, and I wish you could come to more meetings and give more speeches, honestly. You had very good vocal variety. You're always a vibrant storyteller, again, with your hand movements and intonation. And let's see. You had use of humor and dialogue throughout, kind of bringing us in and out of the story, along with the science aspect of dopamine and addiction. So it kind of was, oh my gosh, what's the word? Like an anecdote, but then also tied into a scientific sort of presentation. I felt like I was watching a TED Talk. The only thing I would recommend, and this was really hard for me, I was like grasping at straws. The only thing I would say is it probably would have been a good idea to move the chair to the front of the room, or like just kind of where I'm standing, so that more people could have seen it. Because I was kind of from this side of the room, I was kind of having to lean over and see what you were doing over there. But yeah, and then to kind of end, training my brain is actually my Toastmaster theme for the end of the month, so I was also super excited that you had that tied in there. But overall, I was so excited that I was going to be evaluating this speech, and you did not disappoint at all. So thank you, Daniel.